So I don't know for if you're going live.
Um,
It might be a
yeah,
little bit. I am.
I we could do something on my campaign, but I am well. I want to finish taking care of some of this mythic stuff and talk through that stuff
I'll just talk about some
with
mythic stuff.
people.
Yeah.
But I can do some stuff with my campaign, but it's not really. I'm just not. I'm just not in the mood. I've been dealing with this stuff since we got back with the kegs, and I have not been able to prepare very much at all for today.
Fair enough. I've just been stuck on Path of Exile. When I'm done, I'll be able to start um, next week with actually putting together some great content.
Next week's the wedding, so.
Right.
Oh, you
It
mean
won't be time next Sunday, really.
yeah? Next Sunday will be my wedding.
I'm
So
just starting. Yeah, I'm talking about prepping. I haven't prepped anything since I lived in Denver, which was a while ago. So. But talking about, I guess, the future for the campaign, we're definitely going to keep it going. You guys are going to start, encountering stuff that's probably going to be better, um, a little bit more. So some encounters that probably make a little bit more sense, and our combat encounters at least that probably synergize. Enemies are going to synergize with each other a little better than they have in the past, and it's going to be more challenging. So that's what I hope at least. Maybe, but we're going. Yeah, with Mythic, you guys are going to be going planar. So interplanar travel is going to be a thing. You guys are probably going to go on a search for more information around, just information around your guys' characters in general. I know Go has interest in learning more about his infernal nature, and Jack is also interested in about kind of becoming a deity and becoming learning more about how that he might fit into the world of his religion and perfection and things. So um, those are the things I have to room to expand on. So uh, probably information around expanding on that is probably the next things that are going to happen. If you guys, if that sounds good to you guys. I don't know if Veda or Andy has. While they're well developed characters, I don't know. Like their motivations seem a little less clear to me, other than just wanting to acquire gear. So I don't know if they have, hopes and fears, dreams, that sort of thing.
Well, Veda's interests are purely academic. You know, planar travel seems like a fantastical journey. The adventuring spirit, um, a wanderlust, if you will. It's fantastic, and she doesn't really have anything else to do. Um, Daedalus is back managing Forn and the family compound, and there's nothing. I guess Forn became a monk now, so that that's that. And then Daedalus is back at the house, probably deep in study, like she should be doing. So yeah, interplanar travel sounds awesome, and she's just the girl to take you there.
Sweet. Plane shift, is that something that you'll be able to use for everybody, or
Yeah, that's what we used to get back on the boat. Just plane shift.
so? Yeah, now that you guys can get around, I think that's what we're going to focus on. So cool. Donovan, what were your thoughts? Did I kind of hit on what you were kind of interested in expanding on? I guess, or
yeah,
yeah, cool.
and that's actually an interesting point because I was actually getting ready to sell all that crap.
Sell all what crap?
Because I never at this point I can't, since we're so combat oriented. Mm-hmm. None of that stuff helps me, and so I was getting ready to kind of try and sell a lot of it.
What stuff?
Yeah.
Like the boat, the demiplane. If I can get somebody to buy a demiplane, the like my Halo, which does leadership stuff, things like that. Because I want that fucking sword.
Oh yeah, talk about the sword.
I think I have it in here. It's intense. Yes. I can't actually link to it because it's just like a block of text with everything else. That's the sword.
The Secret Avenger.
Have you guys looked at the Mythic Haste?
Yeah.
You get an additional move action. Everybody gets an additional move action.
Everybody gets so the mythic things I'm taking will give like what is it? Like you have what 5 power, and I took a feat to get another 2 as my mythic feat. So 7 times a day I can give everybody another move action or another attack, or one person an attack.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be. I can't really find any way other than sell everything and convince Ben to take 2 different feats to get this weapon.
What feats do I need?
You have to take magic arms and armor and then mythic craft.
Okay. So those are the 2 mythic feats I'm going to be taking. My first tier mythic ability is actually to take a second feat with the mythic feat that I normally get. So I'm doing the mythic power attack, which increases the bonus on power attack to a +3 at every what is it, every 4 levels, and instead of a +2. And then Spellbreaker mythic, which all non-mythic creatures provoke an attack of opportunity whenever they cast a spell, even when casting defensively or using a quickened spell. And then the path that I am taking is the champion. Where is that at? And the first ability that I'm taking is the one that allows me to use a mythic point to take an extra move action, and when I use it, I get 1 free attack, and it also allows me to do a full attack afterward. I haven't actually added that to my character yet. I was just adding these things. I don't know what everybody's looking at. Everybody's just being silent.
Yeah, I'm just reading about stuff.
I am talking to my cat. I'm really sorry.
Anyway, the point that I was trying to make with that is if we are going to explore that more, then I'll shelve the sword till much later, and I'll actually put on all my stuff.
So we get a mythic tier. Now, I didn't read it, and I didn't do my homework, so you have to forgive me. You're taking 2 feats. Do we get 2 mythic feats?
No.
You get 1 mythic feat.
You get 1 mythic feat, and you get... Oh.
Hang on a second.
Joe, do you have any questions? Is there anything? You're muted. I don't know if you're...
Yeah, it's, it's starting to get close to bedtime, so there's a lot going on in my house. I don't even know where to look at the mithril stuff, or what is it? Legendary?
Mythic Heroes.
Mythic Heroes. Okay.
You only get to pick one path is the big thing,
Yeah.
and whatever path you pick is the one you got to stick with.
You pick one path, and then you get a mythic feat at the first tier. You get a mythic feat and a mythic power, and that can be either one of your path powers or one of the general powers. Oh, here's Ben back.
And then you get the.
Alright.
You also get the.
Now, let's wait until Ben gets back available. So
All
we
right,
can
I'm back.
explain it. We don't have to explain it again. All right. So when you get Mythic Tier 1, you choose a path.
Uh-huh.
If I had to recommend a path for you guys, Ben, you totally need to take Archmage. It's ridiculous.
I looked at that briefly.
And Joe, I would recommend the either the Trickster or the Champion. It's even actually has some abilities too. There's a couple of different options you're gonna want to look at, Joe. But for the Archmage, Ben, there's one of the okay. So whenever you first get the first tier, you get hard to kill. Everybody gets hard to kill. You get one mythic power, and then you pick your path. You get any benefits your path gives you, and you usually get 1 feat whenever with your first level of your path, the first tier of your path.
Okay, so
but
you get
one
hard to kill. What's hard to kill? Just so I'm sure I'll look it up, but just
hard to kill means when you're below 0 hit points, you automatically stabilize without needing a Constitution check.
Okay, and then you said a feat. There was something in between that.
You get a mythic power.
Oh, mythic power.
You get mythic power actually as a thing. You get an amount equal to 3 plus double your mythic tier. So 5 at first tier, and it goes up by 2 at each tier. And you get a 1d6 surge that you can use. You can use your mythic power to increase any d20 roll by an extra 1d6.
Okay.
After the roll has been made.
And that's anybody who takes a level in mythic.
That's anybody. Everybody gets it on their first mythic tier.
That's like a flat thing. Okay. And then most pathways have a feat, and then other additional powers that you take depending on what tier that you're on. I take it.
Yeah, and you have some choices based upon that. The Archmage, Ben, has one of their abilities, one of their mythic abilities that you can take is allows you to use a mythic power point to cast any spell that would be available to you, whether you know it, have learned it, or as long as it's on your spell list, you can cast it with using the equivalent slot.
But you use the equivalent slot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have 2 items that let me do that already without using slot.
But it's any spell as you need it. You can just burn a mythic point, and pick any spell from any of your spell lists, that whether you know it or not.
Oh, I see.
Or have it prepared.
Oh wow, yeah, that sounds pretty badass. Yeah, I'll have to look at that.
You get all your mythic back at the whenever you rest. So, right, it's every 24 hours. So effectively, you can only rest once a day.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which means you get to use whatever power it is 5 times a day.
Yeah.
So wait, so you get to use your mythic power 5 times a day, or
you get
you have
5
mythic
points.
Charges, as long as your power uses one of them, you get to use it 5 times a day.
Oh, okay. You have 5 mythic points. I see.
Yeah. Or 5 mythic power is what it says, but anyway.
So,
but you can pick a path ability from your path, or you can pick a universal one. One of the universal path abilities is an extra mythic feat. So I actually, instead of taking one of the path abilities, I took a second feat, mythic feat. so that I could get Spellbreaker and Power Attack.
Gotcha.
One of the additional bonuses of Power Attack is if I have a critical hit, the extra damage that it does is doubled before the entire damage is doubled with the Power Attack, so it actually quads that extra damage when you get a critical.
I like that. That sounds pretty sweet. So I'm looking at the mythic paths, and there's Archmage, Champion, Guardian, Hierophant, Marshal, and Trickster. Is that all of them, or is that just
That is all of them.
That is all of them. Okay,
Yes.
so I basically am going to choose Archmage because I think the other ones are probably not going to work out.
And I haven't looked too much at ones for the Rogue, but I'm guessing the Trickster ones kind of fit into that. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, you guys don't. The Archmage, the Trickster. It may just be the Champion that gets the feat at his first tier.
Everybody gets a feat.
Everybody gets a feat. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
It's
Okay.
part of the separate list.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you do get a mythic feat at first level. Okay. Everybody does get it. I missed that.
But I think the mythic
all of the mythic, all the mythic feats basically require you to have the non-mythic version. What they do is they just increase the
regular
power.
feat.
Huh?
You can also use it on a regular feat.
Oh, you can use a. Oh yeah, you can pick a non-mythic feat. Is that? But the mythic versions of the feats are pretty badass, in my opinion.
Okay, I see. It's just like
real quick, Ben, if you can get the ability to cast Deathless, which I think is a 4th level spell, you should. It's not a mythic spell. It's just introduced with the mythic stuff. But
it's a badass spell.
If you can take the mythic version of it, everyone within 30 feet of you can't die.
What's it called?
Deathless.
Deathless. Look
Oh,
up.
Basically,
Deathless.
the hit point damage is not calculated for death, but that combined with a 3rd tier thing that I get as Marshal, which is Aura of Perseverance, basically means that we can take any amount of damage and just keep going for as long as it lasts, which I think is measured in rounds.
It's rounds per level, yeah. But that gives you plenty of time.
But that could be, that's 12 rounds where we can't fucking die and we can't go down. It's still a ways off that I could use that. Deathless would still be,
and so Ben, to get a mythic version of a spell, you have to take the mythic ability, mythic spell, I think, or something like that, and it grants you X number of mythic spells that you can cast as the mythic versions of.
Say that again. You were kind of breaking up for me.
I'm looking at it here. I'm trying to find it.
In order to cast the mythic version of a spell, I have to take a specific...
You can take there's 2 ways you can do it. There is a mythic feat called Mythic Lore, and there's Mythic Spellcasting, which is a ability, mythic ability. And it allows you to learn a number of mythic spells equal to your tier, and you can expand mythic power when casting them to enhance the results.
Gotcha.
And then you basically, those are spells you can cast the mythic versions of by expending a mythic power. And that Deathless spell, the mythic thing of it is basically everybody within 30 feet of you that's an ally can't die.
By hit point damage.
By hit point damage.
Other things can kill you, but it doesn't matter how low your hit points still go down. So when the spell's over, it all comes back. But no amount of hit point damage will actually kill you as the spell's over.
Yeah, I'd have to learn it as a wizard spell and not a cleric spell because it's a necromancy school. It is my opposition school, which means it would be a 5th level spell for me, which isn't a big deal. But it would cost an extra spell slot, or it would cost an extra spell slot, not a higher spell slot. But yeah, I'm looking at it. It looks cool.
I'd be willing to buy it for you.
I think that would be one of those things that we could probably, that I could probably know. And can you make mythic scrolls? I mean, I have scribe scroll. Can I cast Deathless in its mythic form into a scroll for later use?
I don't. Mythic Scribe Scroll is a feat.
Well, the mythic of each of the actual creation feats, like, actually does weird things.
Okay. Well, probably what I would end up having to do is, because I can cast, whether I cast it from a spell book or cast it from a scroll doesn't really make a difference. I would still use the a mythic point to make it mythic. So but having it in a scroll form would be a lot more beneficial.
Yeah, huh. I don't know.
The mythic scribe scroll lets you use scrolls without having it in your hand.
Yeah.
That's like badass. Yeah. Yeah. That's
well,
really cool.
All of the mythic versions of the creation feat lets you burn one mythic power at the beginning of the day to basically double your creation output.
Okay. So yeah, and like off times we would be creating things twice as fast.
But I don't know how much that matters.
Yeah. That's a lot to absorb. I should have done my homework, but I've been playing Dead Cells.
I don't blame you. Dead Cells is good. Great game.
Well, now that we have a mythic level, there's a different way to continue to gain mythic levels.
Yeah, well, I think the way we're going to play it is going to be more about accomplishments,
Well, they're based in trials. It's just like something you would give us that would focus on each individual person.
Yeah.
And you need an X amount of successful trials to go to the next year.
Yeah.
That's all it says.
Yeah.
But the DM decides what was a trial or not, so anything could really be a trial.
Yeah, I'm just saying what it looks at.
This whole picking a mythic path thing is very trying. I just want to put that out there.
Why?
Well, you guys didn't get my joke. It's a trial. Anything can be a trial. This is very trying.
Okay.
Are we going to get 2 mythic points up? Never mind. Yeah. It wasn't that funny.
Yeah, the mythic weapons and stuff, and wondrous items, they're really fucking cool. Even if you just took the mythic crafter, and because you have wondrous items, right? There's a whole list of really fucking cool.
Joe, you in the Trickster, you should check out the Fleet Charge ability. It's basically the same thing that I'm taking.
Yeah.
But as a swift action, you can move your full speed, make an attack, and then it doesn't count against the attacks you can make normally during that round. So at the end of it, then you can make a full attack.
I didn't realize that you just like an extra attack.
It's an extra move and attack, basically.
Did you give some to Rebecca? Oh, good. It's my wine. She's got to move stuff. She can be drinking wine and moving stuff. So, yeah, this Archmage looks pretty cool. I can now use my mythic power to cast a spell. Any spell as a swift action. Which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, the Archmage is pretty badass for spellcasters.
Yep. So that's yep, that's pretty sweet.
Arc.
So
Be right
I'm
back.
trying to. So I'm looking at this like the Archmage features. Like you get all of the features, and then the path abilities. You just pick one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the features, I think, right?
No, it
get-
depends. It
There's
depends.
3 choices usually, and you get one of them.
If you look above the chart, the chart at the top, it'll tell you what you get. Here, let me pull up the actual Archmage.
Oh, it says Archmage, Arcana, and then path ability. Okay.
So Archmage.
Oh, select one of the following abilities.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So the PFSRD doesn't do this very well, but the Archmage. The abilities that you can pick from is Arcane Surge, Mage Strike, or Wild Arcana.
Okay.
You get one of those 3 things.
And then I get a path ability, and then
I
I
don't
pick
know
up.
if you get another one after that. Of the first 3.
No, I think that's all you get.
Yeah.
I did because one of the powers for Marshall is to pick another one of those.
I think that they all have that.
Well,
I think they all have the ability to pick one as one of the abilities.
oh really?
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Or they have the same abilities in the abilities somewhere. But yeah. But yeah.
Oh yeah, one of the other Marshall ones, like I think 3rd tier, is if I use Lay on Hands, I get the effect of all of the mercies, which is pretty fucking badass. It comes out to like, what do we put it at? 30d6 for healing at that point.
Oh yeah. That's not until you get to 3rd tier though.
That's what I said. It's a 3rd tier thing. I'm excited for 3rd tier
Yeah.
if we get there. That's pretty much what I'm hoping for because all the stuff I really want is around there.
So Joe, there's also that surprise strike thing, which is a pretty awesome feature. But it doesn't. Yeah, actually, it is just a swift action, so it doesn't use up your move action or your other attack, but it automatically makes something considered flat-footed when you for one of your attacks.
So how many mythic points do you get per day?
5.
Is it 5? I was definitely gonna get that one.
So when do you? So it's like 3rd tier, like your 3rd level, basically.
Yeah, it's when you hit your 3rd tier.
Okay.
Remember, these aren't levels. These are in addition to everything you get through normal leveling.
Oh, let's take a look at flexible school here. You guys might get what you want out of that. Let's see. Let me go.
I think I'm gonna buy a wand of Dispel Magic.
A wand of what?
Dispel Magic. There's something me and Josh were talking about. That what's one of the reasons I wanted that sword, because I don't do a lot of the time. So being able to, when I'm standing there waiting on a heal, I can ready a counter spell.
Yeah, counter spell. Yeah. Yeah, that +5 Holy Defiant Cold Iron Longsword looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it would require you to take two different things and me to basically sell all of my belongings.
But the
Both were
mythic,
25 grand. That would
the
actually get me pretty close. But.
the greater mythic dispel magic that comes with it is freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, and what's every turn, I think?
Yeah.
I can cast it every turn.
Mm-hmm. That's sweet.
It's, as a standard action, you just get greater mythic dispel magic.
Yeah. We have what? I had 69,000. Sell the boat for 25 grand. That would get me to like, what, 85? No, 95? Need like another 7 or 8 grand there. Assuming I can't sell the demiplane that's attached to it. But I didn't personalize the boat. The boat was just built. So.
Mm-hmm. See, I like this one. You automatically succeed at concentration checks to cast arcane spells. You could get a wizard up in it doing that. I mean, I'm not going to, but.
Dude, Joe, that no one of consequence ability is pretty badass.
Hey, Donovan.
Yeah, I saw that one. I thought it was pretty cool.
Have you seen the crafting mastery? What is it? What are these called? Path ability. You can craft any magic item as if you had the necessary item creation feats.
For Archmage?
Yeah. If you have the item creation feat needed for magic item for crafting, whenever you attempt the skill check to create them, roll twice and use the higher result, which really isn't a big deal because my spellcraft's off the hook.
Joe, there's also that redirect attention. It forces everybody who's not mythic to look
in. It would
in
allow you to retrain like a number of your feats and still retain all of that, and that would technically give you the ability to do a mythic one too.
Well, yeah. See, I like this because if I take crafting mastery power, I can retrain all of my crafting feats into something actually useful. While we're out and about. Yeah.
It's a power that would give you multiple feats. Yeah. Well, if you take that, let me know. I might sell the boat.
Joe, I was talking about that redirect attention. It forces everybody who's not mythic to look in the direction that you tell them to. So
yeah, it's pretty cool.
It can be used to allow you to hide.
It's the mythic version of "Hey, look over there."
They just might, or this might just work's an interesting one. Being able to swap out use any skill in place of any other skill as long as they use the same ability modifier.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
That sounds a little overpowered. I think I'm going to use my disable device to try to coerce this guy into giving me what he's
No,
got in his
that
hand.
would be a using a dexterity check for a charisma check based one. That doesn't work.
Oh, his disable device.
Would be it's
that's
dexterity
right.
based. Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was charisma based.
I could use magic device though for charisma base.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could. You could use
Yeah.
magic device to bluff somebody, technically. Thwart detection.
I guess you can take 10 on intelligence based knowledge check.
Wait a second. So thwart detect. What was that? Sorry, Ben. What?
Oh, I'm just talking out loud.
The thwart detection, um, physical traps and stuff. You could. They're just not aware of your existence as long as you're aware of them.
And you have trap sense, so
Some pretty cool stuff. The trap taker is an interesting one too. You can make it so that the trap's still affected, but your allies can move past it. And then you can reset it so it affects other people, and then using a mythic power to move it with it up to any point within 100 feet of its original spot. So you can move stuff, reset it, and tell it to trigger on its owner.
listen to this. It's called flexible counterspell.
Yeah.
Your mythic power enhances your ability to counter other spells as an immediate action. You can expend one use of mythic power to attempt a counter spell. This ability works like readying an action to counter a spell, except instead of using the exact spell or dispel magic, you can instead use a spell or spell slot of equal to or higher than the target spell.
Yeah, that mixed
What?
with the ability to automatically determine what spells are.
What?
So,
But you don't even need to on this. It's just what spell level is it? I'll
But
counter it.
you don't know what spell level it is. You'd have to use a spellcraft
guess
check
so,
to
yeah.
figure that out.
so the mythic craft wondrous items lets you turn any magic item into an iron stone.
What? Like that +5 longsword you got? Ion sword of +5 longsword?
I think it has to be a wondrous item, but yeah.
Joe, you should check out the 6th tier Bloody Streak ability. It's
Yeah,
badass.
I was just reading that.
As long as you continue to sneak attack, you get a +1d6 on every attack. Cumulative.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Up to an additional 10d6 of I'm a badass attacker damage.
Boy, oh boy! If I'm reading all these right, we're about to get into some trouble.
Yeah. The mythic powers are no joke.
I guess I can I guess I can cast necromancy spells if I'm a harmonious mage because I don't have any more opposition schools. It's
There's
ridiculous.
one of the things for I think it was the Hierophant is that you don't have a good or evil anymore.
Oh, really? Is that a cleric based thing?
What was that, Donovan? Do you remember?
Oh, you can cast things with good or evil in them whenever, I think. So as a good cleric, you can still cast evil spells.
Like inflict wounds?
Yeah.
Do you remember what that was? What ability that was? The name of it?
Oh, no, I don't remember.
Or which path it was from?
I believe it was Hierophant.
I always wanted to cast that spell. I'm trying to think of the name of it. I think it's called Flesh Worm, where worms like burrow out of your flesh and like causes damage. But it's an evil spell. For some reason, it's an evil spell, but you can incinerate somebody with a fireball, and it's like a perfectly normal thing to do.
It's because it's D&D, dude, or Pathfinder in this case. Things things can't be made logical.
Domain immunity is another cool one for Hierophant. You're immune to the effects of all spells on your domain list.
That would not work for me. All of mine are like teleportation spells. I would need to.
What? So there's life current for Hierophant that if you were to select it 4 times, anytime you roll anything that would do either cure or inflict, you treat all 1, 2, 3s, and 4s as 5s.
Nice. That could add up to some serious damage. So how do you so you only get one, what do they call this? One path, first tier path, and then you get another one at second tier?
No.
You don't get another path, you get another ability.
Yeah. You do have you only get to choose your path once.
Oh, I'm sorry. Path ability is what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, you get a new ability at each tier.
And then at third tier, you pick from the third tier list, and then at sixth tier, you pick from the sixth tier.
Well, you can pick from those, but you can also pick from the earlier ones if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, the Mythic Mercy was something I was looking at for a while with the Guardian because it lets you use Break Enchantment with your Lay on Hands. But I just decided it wasn't worth ever going that way to do it.
Brian, you haven't given much input. Are you playing Pathfinder over there?
No. No.
He's playing Path of
Exile. That's what I mean.
Path of Exile. I'm trying to figure out what I can do to get some more content.
Okay.
I have some ideas. I don't know.
I was just messing.
But
I always thought,
I'm paying attention. You guys are gonna become even crazier than you already are. So that's fine. I just have to try to.
Well, and the other thing is, anytime that you put us against a mythic anything, a lot of those abilities don't take effect.
Yeah. But it's not like you're gonna be running across, mythic goblins like every 5 steps. I think that'll be more reserved for your more epic battle kind of boss fights and stuff. So
That's actually a good thing to know because you could just make everything we fight. Oh, this thing's mythic.
yeah, well, I mean, now there won't be mythic, but there will be. I mean, it's going to be more challenging.
Yeah.
So
which is fine. I'm totally stoked for that.
Yeah. So but it needs to be in a way that it doesn't feel like you guys are getting railroaded, but it also, I mean, it can't be at the same level that it's been at the same time. So, I mean, so it's going to be tricky. I'll just have to get better at design. So, I think that's really what I'm gonna have to step it up. So,
you have to get good.
Yeah, I gotta stop being lazy and.
Oh, I finally found it. It's Beyond Morality.
Beyond Morality.
It's a universal.
Oh, here's a question. So when will we play again?
Oh, so anybody can get that.
When will we play again?
I think I can be ready the week after next.
So, okay, obviously marriage next Sunday.
Yeah.
Are you going to be on a honeymoon the Sunday after?
No, honeymoon's not until December.
Until December. Oh.
Yeah.
You guys are waiting. So, okay. So, you're saying the Sunday after?
Yeah.
Which I guess would be whatever. The 8th. I don't think I can actually play on the week after. I'm actually going to be in Madison on the 15th. So yeah, I won't be able to play on that week. I won't be able to play that weekend. Unfortunately.
What's going on in Madison?
I was invited to go with a couple of my coworkers up to Madison and hang out and drink and stuff. So, one of my the guy I report to is named Brian Lang, and I have the utmost respect for him. He's really fun. He invited another guy a couple other people I work with, and we're all gonna I'm gonna fly up to Chicago. We're gonna drive up to Madison on that Friday, and then I don't know what we're gonna get into. I think on Saturday we're gonna do some bar hopping, and just general hanging out and having a good time. Then I'll be back on Sunday, but my flight doesn't get back until like later on Sunday. Then I'm gonna kind of recover. So,
by the way, everybody, when you hit 9th tier mythic, when you're killed, you return to life 24 hours later, regardless of the condition of your body.
And that's when the game ends. What's the point in playing anymore?
I like this one, Speedy
There's
Summon.
still other ways to stop you.
You can cast summon monster spells, and the casting time is 1 standard action. I never summon monsters, because it takes a full round action. But now maybe it doesn't have to. Actually,
so the other thing that I can't wait to get third or fourth tier is Divine Source, which basically means that other people can select you as their god for their divine spells.
Oh, that's cool.
You can pick 2 domains, and then they can pick you, and then they get those domains.
What's your domain powers, JB?
I don't know yet. We'll have to figure that out when I become a god.
Because if they're pretty cool.
Oh, they'll be cool.
I'm converting to Boonism.
Everybody follows the way of the boon.
The other way of the boon. So I'm trying to think about this. So let me look at this. I'm going to highlight this so I.
We like to be called the Boonadites.
Cult of Boon. And he doesn't give out powers or spells to people. He just grants them boons.
If you're a cleric, you can change your domains to the ones you grant others. You can worship your fucking self.
It's a little meta.
At 6th and 9th tier, you can select it again, adding an additional domain and 2 subdomains to your list.
This is sounding pretty good. Now Veda wants to become godlike. What is this? Is that Hierophant?
No, that's a third tier universal.
Oh, universal. So I guess with Arcane Surge as a swift action, I can cast any spell that I have prepared without expending a prepared slot or spell slot.
Yeah.
But if I have Speedy Summons as my ability, and the casting time's one standard action, could I, in theory, in one round, summon 2 different monsters? Summon 2 monsters in one round?
A couple times a day, even if it works.
It's a standard action instead of a
Full round action.
full round.
I don't think it would even matter if it was a full round action or not with the first one, because it just says it changes it to swift action. I can cast any spell I know there, or any spell that I have prepared without expending a spell slot, which is sweet. So that full round action is reduced down to a swift action, and then if I can summon a monster as a standard action, I have a swift action.
Yeah, it does.
Actually,
You don't even need the second ability. I wouldn't think. You can
Yeah.
do a swift action and a full round action in the same round.
I like the idea of doing a standard action though, because mostly the reason I don't summon monsters is because I'm just standing around waiting, for a whole round for something to get done. And this way, it's like I know something's going to happen right now. But I guess if I didn't do that, I guess I could just summon a monster as a swift action and do something else too. Oh, this mythic stuff is... I'm getting aroused.
All we have to do to basically be out of juice is be not allowed to rest after a few fights.
Yeah.
Screw that. Let's plane shift into plane shift into Jack Boone's place.
Well, I don't know. If we're going dimension hopping, I might get rid of the boat anyway. I don't know if I want to take the boat to the other planes where it just melts.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We're gonna have to have some place to plane shift back to.
Well, we can do that. I can just rip the door off and just put it somewhere.
Do you remember how much it cost to make that extra dimensional space?
It was about 49,000.
Oh, I've got that. I've got 49,500 plus whatever's in my pocket.
And Ben, there's also Inspired Spell, which is a general thing, I think. Universal Path ability. No, where is it?
I didn't see the universal path at all. Is it? It must not be on that list.
No, it's not. It's back in the Mythic Heroes page.
It's one, and it's just a list that anybody can pick from, that no matter what their path is.
I have it mentions Inspired Spell on the Archmage side. I just cannot figure out what it means.
Also, you can get a legendary item if you want.
I've got the legendary items page.
With the first tier universal path abilities, like for me it would be Display of Charisma, and then at the second tier I get a legendary item, and the legendary item gives you another plus 20, so I get...
Oh, I know. Okay, I get it. Inspired Spells, the Hierophant divine version of Wild Arcana. Okay.
Oh shit, first tier is you don't die from old age. There's a thing in there to become immortal.
Yeah, I think my Mystic Thurge becomes immortal at level 10.
Really? At level 10?
Well, it's a prestige class. I think that was it. Now I gotta look it up.
We're gonna go dimension hopping. We will need to get some sustenance stuff. We don't have to breathe or anything. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I'm gonna start saying Jack Boone instead of Jesus Christ. Jack Boone.
So, have you looked at the binding ritual in the Universal stuff?
No.
You get binding, dimensional anchor, magic circle against chaos, evil, good, law, planar binding greater, and planar binding lesser added to your known spells. Whether or not you're a spellcaster, you can expend one use of mythic power to create a magic circle of any type as part of a calling diagram. If you expend an additional use, the diagram is fortified with dimensional anchor. If you're at least ninth level, you can spend 2 to cast planar binding as a spell-like ability. If you're at least 11th level, you can expend 3 uses of your mythic power to cast planar binding as a spell-like ability. Oh, cast another. Yeah, then you can just cast planar binding. So for three uses of mythic power at 11th level, you're able to just bind a whole lot of shit up here.
Oh, I missed that part of Beyond Morality. If you're the target of a spell or effect that's based on alignment, you're treated as the most favorable alignment when
Yeah.
determining the effect. You have no alignment.
Oh, there's also the ultimate versatility. That was the one where for a number of minutes per day or something, equal to your tier, you can change any class decision you've made.
What?
Like you can change your schools, or you can change your arcane bond or anything else temporarily.
I'm really liking this universalist school. Like, you no longer need to eat, drink, or breathe. That's sweet.
Yeah, but isn't that what just a ring of sustenance does?
No, that just eat or drink, not breathe. Breathe is a big one, and immune to inhaled poisons. That's sweet. If I get pierced the darkness, my dark vision will go up to 180 feet.
The boundaries of the material plane mean little to you. You can plane shift once per day.
I can do that. I can do that twice per day. 3 times per day. Don't you worry about plane shift. You let me worry about plane shift.
You gain permanent tongues. That's a 6th tier one. If it's dispelled, you resume it as a free action.
I like interplanar prestige more than binding ritual.
What is it?
Interplanar prestige. It lets you do planar ally version things instead of the summon planar bindings.
Hmm.
feel like Planar Ally is a more nice spell. It has less repercussions. As long as
Oh
you
god,
treat
there's
them
a
right.
ton of mythic feats.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They
You
all
have to
pretty
have
much,
the original feat, though.
almost
Oh,
all of
they've
them
got a
require
lot
the
of-
original feats. So you just look at the feats that you have and look at the mythic versions to see what you want.
Imitate mythic version of a spell. That's pretty sweet. So I could get 190 foot dark vision if I took that ability and mythic deep sight.
So you want to know the really scary thing, though, with all this is that just between what I know Josh has taken, what I have taken, for at least 5 rounds per day, Gobel's going to get 5 attacks a round.
Boy, a lot of these are very specific.
Well, that's the thing, is that a lot of them are less powerful than others. I guess it's just really like whatever you really want to do in your campaign to determine how you do it.
Yeah, there's a number of things on the list that would be really cool in some campaigns, and in others would be basically useless.
Like there's one for Marshall that lets you, whenever you walk into any room, you can automatically make a diplomacy check to increase everybody's attitude towards you within like 10 feet plus an additional number of people equal to your charisma score modifier, which means you just automatically convince everybody in the room to like you. But for us, that's like pretty useless.
Oh, there's one that I would love to have, and I probably will get it eventually, but I don't know how well it would actually work functionally, which is the Juggernaut champion ability. Which basically, whenever a wall or a door is in your path of a charge, you can make a strength check to break it and not be stopped by it, and continue your charge through it.
Nice.
And
Don't you have to have line of sight to a target?
What's that ability called? It's a dodge.
Check out my spaceship.
I think that would be really fun for Go to have, but you don't need a line of sight to do a charge. You just have to use your move action, which would just assume that you knew something was in the way.
Like a wall.
Yeah. No, I mean something was on the other side of that wall. You could charge a wall. You could try to charge through it. You just.
Yeah, but you have to buff your strength like crazy just to get through like a regular stone wall with like a 35 or something insane, isn't it?
Well, you think about it though. I mean, it's a stone wall.
Well, and that assumes that there isn't a stone wall on the other side of the stone wall.
There's
that there's actually a room there to crash into.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But breaking a door is not as hard
Well,
as
yes,
that.
you can typically assume that you would get through a door.
And you can use a uh, mythic point to increase your bonus by 10.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, I like the fact you can take that Juggernaut ability up to 3 times, and each time your bonus goes up by another 10, and you can go through another barrier, so you can go up through
I'm
like
just
3
imagining, like,
walls.
you beat that up, and, like, you just go, like, all right, these rooms, we're going to check them all at once.
But if I did that, I would need to have a helmet made for myself.
So outside of
Helmet
the
of will.
ones that don't require prerequisites, I only qualify for one of those mythic feats.
Womp womp.
No, 2 of them. 2 of them. Yeah, the crafter feat and the spell focus mythic. Which is focus mythic, it looks really cool. But I'm really surprised on how quickly I went through that.
Yeah, I didn't even see anything that was worth taking, like, to upgrade a regular feat. Mostly because there was no mercy thing, and that's, like, all of my feats at this point. Because I only have half the feats you guys do, because I have the ranger stuff.
How do you? So somebody was telling me something about upgrading a regular feat, like you just said.
Well, you can upgrade a regular feat to one of those mythic feats. That's all I mean.
Oh, okay. I know Josh was saying something earlier about making your feet stronger, and it was badass or something, but I don't remember.
You can use the mythic feat to get the mythic version of one of the feats you already have. Is all we were saying, I think.
Oh, I see.
And then you can use one of the universal path abilities is to get another mythic feat, which is what I used to get 2 feats.
Yeah.
Shoot, man, but that's because the tier 1 path abilities were they're okay. Like there's some really good ones on there. I love Always a Chance, and I will probably take it eventually. Rolling a 1 does not mean you fail.
Yeah, I like that. You're a
And,
halfling now.
Well, no, it's just not an automatic fail on an attack roll. So there is no more crit fail for Go, and if Go doesn't have a crit fail, there's not many things that he can't hit.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Any normal thing is an auto hit.
So, like that is would be a great benefit to him, but
So I'm looking at the chart, and it doesn't say anything about in my Archmage chart, and it just says like Archmage Arcana and then Path ability, and then all the way to the 10, and then Path ability and True Archmage. It doesn't say anything about the feat advancement. Is it?
oh, that's back in the Mythic Heroes page, the previous one.
It's a Mythic Heroes. Okay.
There's a Mythic feat column in that chart.
I think I actually have that here. Hang on.
Every other mythic tier you get a feat, and every other mythic tier, the other opposite ones you get an ability score modifier or a bonus +2.
Oh, okay. So this one we get a feat, and the next one we get to
ability score increase.
Oh wow, and we get amazing initiative on the second tier.
Yeah.
Brian, one of the things I was wondering is, does Neville get a mythic level?
I think the roll. Well,
I have looked at it. There's nothing.
I'm gonna probably go with no.
That's fine. That's what I was expecting. It just means that maybe
Find out, yeah. As you find a spot that says yes, I mean that's that you know. I mean, it's about your character is the guy, you know, that's kind of the
Oh,
guy.
no, yeah, and I totally get that. That's what I kind of assumed. It just means I might actually end up getting rid of him because the power difference may be a bit much at that point.
Yeah, Neville's a little overpowered for our team right now, so probably separation is good.
Except he won't have hard to kill or anything like that. I mean, he's already kind of squishy.
Sorry, I keep eating these Fritos. I can't help it.
And
So
everybody
just
needs to make
retraining
sure.
leadership altogether.
Everybody needs to make sure you remember the surge. You can use your mythic power at any point to add a 1d6 to any d20 roll.
And we get that 5 times a day.
Yep. Depending on how often you use your mythic power will be spread out between uses of these different things, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anywhere in the character sheet for it. I didn't see anything
For what?
for mythic stuff.
Oh. I just put them under my abilities. I just added more abilities and feats.
Do you know if it's in the compendium?
I seriously got it.
No, doesn't look like it.
If I take what was that called? Crafting mastery. That means I can make rings and rods and staves
And constructs and homunculi and all the other weird ones.
Boy, that is just really hard to pass up.
Do it. Do it.
I need to retrain a feat anyway. Maybe I will retrain 2 feats. I can find somebody. All right, I need to start writing notes to myself.
Joe, if you don't want to take that fleet charge thing, there is a mythic magic item. That is a spear that when you throw it, you can use one of your mythic powers to teleport where it is, and then take your full attack action after from where it's at.
Yeah, I haven't even. I guess I could look at the mythic magic items.
I have all the beer down here.
Takes the stuff to make them.
If Ben takes craft magic arms and armor and
Well, the crafting mastery lets him do all of them. So.
Okay, yeah.
I have crafted magic arms and armor.
Oh, you do?
Anyway, I'm going to take my wife a beer. I'll be right back.
I did not know he had that.
And again, you can find the list of those on the Mythic Heroes page. The Mythic Heroes page links to all these different things.
So Brian, if I sell my boat, am I going to be able to get anything for that demi-plane?
I'm sorry, you want to sell your boat?
Yeah, if I sell my boat.
Which the one that flies around?
Yeah.
You want to sell it?
Rampant Audacity is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
You'd have to find someone who'd want to buy it.
Who wants to buy a boat? I'll find a sailor who wants to buy a boat.
A flying boat.
It doesn't have to fly. It also functions as a regular boat. But
right. Well, I guess we'll have to think about it. That's kind of a big jump from what your character was kind of doing to I guess,
Well, that's just the thing. Is like it's not like I can plane shift the boat.
yeah. I don't know. I guess I kind of want to understand your character's motivations a little bit more because
More or less, it's not so much my character's motivations as it's going to be a $25,000 item I can't use.
You do have 100 followers that do use it daily, though.
Yeah, well, and that was.
Well, but they can also just use a town.
It was also some you went in knowing that when you got it.
Well, no, because I'm talking. If we're in the material plane, it's still a form of transportation. But if we go to another plane, I can't take the boat with me. Unless I can take the boat with me. If I can take the boat with me, what?
Well, if we go to the elemental plane of fire and you've got all those followers, they'll be losing some leadership score real quick.
Well, I got clearance. You can cast protection.
Well, let me rethink the whole planner travel thing. Then I mean I don't know if that really makes sense. In that respect. Then maybe it makes more sense to keep it on Galarian and so you can still take advantage of the investments you've made. So I won't say there won't be some planar travel, but it'll probably be more brief and more like encounter driven, and not something that's going to be like a giant, mess of like that last dungeon we just did. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't see why it would be too particularly hard to keep the ship. If we went, even if we were gone for a couple of months, I mean, you've got guys that can take care of other guys, right?
Well, just if we go long term into another plane where we're going to be moving around between cities and things, and then all of a sudden.
So, I mean, I don't want to take this in a direction where it feels like it undermines all the investments and direction that you've been making your character with up till now. And if doing what I kind of mentioned does that, and then I don't want to do it. I want to continue on what we've been kind of going through. So, yeah, we'll have to be a little more tactful on planar travel, that sort of thing. But maybe it won't be something that's as common as.
Well, if it's just treated the same way that like a dungeon is, like, there's a portal that we can go back out of or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll work it in that kind of way.
I think that works. I think that works fine. I mean, even if we plane shift there and we're 500 to 500 miles off, I have teleport too within that plane of travel, so we can get into the plane. We can teleport where we need, relatively where we need to go, and then we can find out, what we need to do, from there. Or if there's like a specific teleportation pad that, Pathfinders have or whatever. And so, you can play it out however you want. But yeah, if we can do like the way that we're doing it now, where it's like we're going on a specific mission to find a specific thing. We're not going to be there, undermining, whoever's in charge and trying to take over the plane. I think that would be really cool. Yeah,
Joe, did you find the mythic magic items?
No.
Okay. Here's the link.
Because I would like to keep going with Jack's whole like I want to be a god thing, as long as it fits into everybody else's stuff.
I will say the Go wants to want to take a trip down to the subplanes at some point.
Those don't have to be mutually exclusive. Yeah. And there's a whole lot of evil to smite there, sure.
Isn't your boat made out of adamantine?
Yeah, the boat will survive in another plane. I'm not worried about it dying. It's getting it there.
You'd have to have a massive gate or some kind of teleportation, like.
No, it's already an intelligent item. I just give it the ability to cast plane shift on itself.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much that'll cost me, but I think it's a fucking strong. Oh shit! Could the boat plane shift inside of itself?
No, come on.
That would be
That's
that would be sweet. I think that would cause a rift into the astral
Wait,
plane.
you mean it teleport into the subplane that's inside it?
Well,
Yeah,
that's attached to it, yeah.
yeah.
It's not attached to it. The entrance to it is attached to the boat.
So I guess you could do it. It's just, you know.
It would
The
just be
door
like
would
a mirror looking at another mirror. It's not actually the plane inside the plane. It's just the entryway to the plane inside the plane.
It would just be really hard to get out.
Yeah.
No, you just plane shift out of there
To where?
To
to
wherever
the
you want.
material plane.
You don't have to
Oh,
go
that's
in
okay.
order of planes when you plane shift.
I didn't know you could, for some reason I did not know you could plane shift.
I do know that I want to spend 500 gold to retrain my craft magic arms and armor feat to dimensional agility.
So you're losing the craft magic arms and because you want to take the.
That was he only took it on to help Joe with his celestial armor.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if anybody else wants armor, now's your chance to get it. But I think
Tell me now before I click this button.
everybody's set though, right? And tell me about what you're gonna pick up again.
I'm gonna have to buy that Suzerain scepter then.
There's some mythic items that I want to get, weapons and stuff, but nothing right now.
Oh, Brian, I think I told Ben and them, but if I were to get all of the items that I was gonna get before, just to have fun with the leadership, I could potentially have up to, I think it's 1,670 people, which
Whoa.
is significantly more than fits on that.
You have to make a bigger boat.
2 boats.
And at that point, I'm getting like 8th level people and stuff. I have like 4, 5, 8 level people if I do that. But that would require me to take the mythic leadership as well, which I'm not want to do. So I only have like 1,200. Yeah, I'm gonna take the scepter back again. I'm gonna buy a statue.
Are you gonna take the whatever it is crafter bin that allows you to craft
I'm gonna
all
either
the
I'm gonna
types?
either I'm gonna retrain craft wondrous items and craft magic arms and armor, and then I'm gonna take the path from the Archmage crafting mastery, which allows me to craft. Here, I'll read it. You can craft any magic item as if you had the necessary item creation feats. So, there you go. So if you need something crafted,
Okay, so you'll still be able to. All right, cool. Are you taking Mythic Crafter too, or are you gonna wait on that?
what's Mythic Crafter?
It allows you to make
Is that a
mythic
feat?
items. Yeah.
Oh well, I think you can craft any magic item as if you had the necessary necessary item creation feat. I'm pretty sure that covers it, right?
I'm sorry.
Well, let's ask Brian. So here I'm going to put into chat the Archmage Mythic Path.
Yeah.
One of the path abilities, first tier Archmage path abilities, is Crafting Mastery, which is you can craft any magic item as if you had the necessary item creation feats. If you actually have the item creation feat, you can attempt a skill check to create an item, roll twice, and use the higher result, and then you make twice as much progress on the item for any item spent. But there's also a feat called crap. I think it's called
Mythic
craft,
Craft.
actually.
Mythic Crafter.
I think it's called Crafting Mythic, where you can craft mythic items. Does the Archmage Crafting Mastery ability allow me to create mythic items, craft mythic items.
Well, craft mythic item is a item creation requirement.
I think you have to have the mythic one to make mythic ones.
This is a mythic path ability. Does the mythic path ability allow me to create mythic items?
Let us consult the internet.
Let's consult the internet.
How to make mythic magic items. Construction. This has got nothing.
And Paizo.com's undergoing maintenance.
How to build.
So the only like I said, the only thing I would say is that it says that you have all the necessary item creation feats, which under feats for all the mythic items, it lists craft wondrous item, mythic crafter, both of which are item creation.
You're going to need mythic crafter to create mythic items based on that thread I just posted.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, according to that, Mythic Crafter is not an item creation feat, which is why that doesn't bypass it.
So you'll have to wait a little bit before you're crazy OP. You just have to deal with being crazy OP right now.
Well, no, I can take that feat, right?
Yeah.
Mythic.
I can take crafting mythic as a feat because the only prerequisite is having any magic item crafting feat. So I can take that feat and also take the ability mythic crafter, or no, the arch.
You could literally make any item in the entire game.
Right, and then I could and then make anything,
Because Mythic Crafter allows you to do
any item creation feat, but crafting Mythic Crafter isn't an item.
But it allows you to do legendary items and stuff too.
Yeah, I can't wait for that shit.
Well, I was gonna do spell focus, but that's pretty boring.
One thing I haven't been making you do is making those item skill check things whenever you make things.
Oh yeah, so here's why you haven't been doing it. Is because the DC to make them is ridiculously low. So a lot of people, like wizards, don't typically make a whole lot of magic items, I think, in this game. But my spellcraft is let me get down there. My spellcraft is a 22, and you can take 10, which is a 32. So it's plus 30. It's 32. 32. It would have to be a CL 32 or lower, basically,
Which almost never happens then again.
Which the highest caster, the highest crafting level check that you would have to make is a 30, and that. So from what I've seen anyway, and that's on some seriously ridiculous crap, So it automatically, I automatically succeed.
The only way he would not have to, he could possibly be not successful is if he tried to make it at a really, maybe as a 9th level caster or something, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Ben.
I don't. Well, it would be a 20th. So here I have the formula right here.
It's crazy high either way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the D.
Everything that we make, he auto passes is the reason why.
It's. If you look at any magic item, it has what the what it takes to make it, and it's just so easy to make them, and they did it on purpose so that everybody can have magic items, which is cool. And that's why my spellcraft is so high, not for identifying spells, but for making magic items. It actually should be higher than that now that I'm looking at it. Because my Amulet of Mental Prowess should give me a +4, and I don't have it typed in there. So that's actually a 26. It would be a 36 if I took 10 on spellcraft. Your hands have got to be so greasy by now. It's got to be a good feeling eating those Fritos. I wish I could have a Frito. I haven't had a carb in days. It looks so good. Loving those Fritos. I like Fritos.
Yeah, they're my favorite little snack. I mean, if you go, I'm going to read you the ingredients. Corn oil, salt.
Yeah, I know it, right? Yeah, Fritos are legit.
That's all there's in it, man. That's why I like them.
Yep.
Hey, quick question. What's the population of Sandpoint?
Oh, I thought it was like 2,500 or something like that. Let me look it up. Uh, 1,200. I'm sorry, I was off by.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and how many followers you have? Like 200 or something like that right now.
1,200.
You have 1,200.
More than that, a little bit more.
So the population of Sandpoint doubles whenever you're in town.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I was like, I just realized that my stuff is. I have more people than they do when I go to town.
Or just about as much, yeah. I mean, Sandpoint,
and all of mine have levels.
Yeah, Sandpoint's a smaller town. Magnemar's a lot bigger.
Right, but it's just the whole thing that I effectively have a town worth of people.
Yeah, you have a whole ecosystem of followers. Yeah. Craziness.
I think in the game that we should try to see if we can find rumors of a Sacred Avenger located somewhere and go get it rather than buying it.
Try to hunt one down.
I think we should try to hunt one down.
Oh, that sword?
Yeah.
That would be a pretty big step towards becoming Jesus.
Would other people agree with me? I think that I would much prefer to do the quest to find it than have everybody sell everything they have, including the ship, to try to pay to make it.
Oh yeah, that's as long as I can keep using the ship, I want to keep the ship.
But okay, I think that would be a cool quest item. Are you guys cool with going and looking for the Sacred Avenger? this super mythic item that.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you this: if you want a quest for it, tell me now, because I just did Mythic Crafter and Crafting Mastery.
Well, there's plenty of other really cool mythic items you could make. That one just happens to be 200,000 gold.
Okay. Well, I gotta look at all the different ones. Where are they? Wait, I got them right here. Never mind.
Well, it's 200,000 gold to buy.
So this is just. So which ones do we? Is it magic weapon? Oh, I see.
Magic items, magic arms and armor, and or whatever it is, and then other items. The legendaries and artifacts, I don't think you can. I don't know if you can craft legendaries. I think that there is a specific mythic power you pick that gives you a legendary.
Are there specific? Oh, there are specific mythic items. Okay. All right. I'm not going to 100% commit to Mythic Crafter just yet. Although, really, I don't really have any other option. I have Spell Focus, which gives me a +1 to my Spell Focus.
There's also extra mythic power, which is what I took.
The extra mythic power is a 3rd tier feat.
What?
Extra.
It's also just a feat. It's a mythic power as well as a mythic feat.
What is?
Extra mythic power.
Oh, are you a universalist?
Anyone can pick from Universal.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get your path, and then you can also, instead of picking a path ability, pick a universal ability.
Gotcha. That's like, well, see, I'm used to Wizard, where Wizard, there's like you pick a school or a universalist, and it's like you can't have both. It's like it's either one or the other. Okay, well, I'll have to go back and look through those again, because
extra mythic power, yeah. The feat. Oh shit! There's extra path ability as a feat.
That's the 3rd tier one that I'm thinking about, right?
No,
No. Extra mythic power just lets you do more.
Oh no, it
powers.
does say it does require 3rd tier.
So extra path ability is a feat that I could take.
Well, but that does require 3rd tier. Extra mythic power does not, which gives you 2 more uses of your mythic power.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So 7 altogether instead of 5.
Yeah.
And no matter what, he was talking about feats, not powers. Those are powers. He's trying to find a use for his feet.
There is also extra path ability.
That's a power too.
That's a feat.
Where's? Okay.
But that's the 3rd tier feat, right?
It is a feat that has a prerequisite of being 3rd tier. But it is a feat.
So mythic toughness doubles your hit points.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Gain twice as many hit points and gain damage reduction 10 below 0 hit points. So.
Holy.
That's nasty.
I may take that.
That's a lot of hit points. But you got to have regular toughness, which gains you, the +3 at the first level and then a +1 per every other level. So you'd have that, and then those would double, I would presume. So yeah.
Josh, you don't want 300 hit points right now?
Lots of hit points.
I would have to do it. I would have to retrain Iron Will.
But you'd have 300 hit points.
Yeah.
That's like a Tarask.
That's like
it's definitely something that would be interesting to do. I'd have to retrain Iron Will as for the regular toughness.
that is damn near a Tarask.
Mm-hmm. Tarask has like
only has 500.
Yeah, 525.
Hmm.
With 40 regen.
That is one serious thing you'd be missing. I'll work on that. I'll get you regen 40 somehow. Damn.
I might be making some rounds.
Regen resurrects from the dead 3 rounds. You cannot truly kill it. You can only kill it for rounds.
What is it?
The regen on the Tarask in Pathfinder, if it fails a save against an effect that would kill it instantly, it rises from death 3 rounds later.
Yeah, so the only way to kill it is to bring it below 0, negative its hit points, and then use a wish to stop it from regenerating. You might be able to do limited wish.
It doesn't say that in its actual entry. Oh, it gets a plus 24 ratio on acrobatics. That is insane. That is way scarier than the fucking other ones.
What? Dude, I guess it's still soaking in that I can now make wands and staves and rods and rings and wondrous items like wands. Anybody want any wands? Like, you want a wand?
You know Andy wants wands.
Yeah, I want wands. I want wands galore.
Damn, how many wands you want, dog? I mean, kitty cat.
I want all of them. I mean, that's basically
technically you can make a wand of any spell, right?
Well, as the crafter, I can make wands of a specific spell level. I mean, we can only buy wands of the minimum caster level to cast that spell. But as the crafter, I can make wands of a higher caster level.
Yeah.
No, I definitely want a wand of fireball.
Basically, any spell up to what you're capable of casting, right?
Well, I know the craft wand item creation feat allows you to do anything 4th level or lower.
Right, yeah. There's a limitation. I don't think you... Is it 4th? I thought it was 3rd. Is it 4th?
PFSRD here says it's 4th.
Oh, it's 4th. Okay. Well, then it's 4th level or lower, yeah. Fireball's a 3rd level spell. So.
I thought it was 3rd level as well, but I just looked it up.
Oh, and that's right. You can't do it for any spell. It has to be one that you know. Because the wands don't the wands and scrolls don't follow the requirements of being able to do 5+ to ignore the spell requirements.
Mm-hmm. And you have to be able to cast it. Well, yeah, you can either hire somebody to cast the spell for you, or add it into your spell book. So basically, it would be the cost of the scroll and the cost of the specialized ink to add it into the spell book, or prepare that cleric spell per day. Which Fireball is a 3rd level wizard spell. I don't know how much it would be. It's like, I don't know. I'll just tell you real quick. Let me move all of these alcohol bottles out of the way.
So did Brian tell you guys about our wonderful experience trying to get kegs back to Cincinnati?
No.
To a degree. You have to keep them cold.
Yeah. So, they wouldn't rent us. So the place that we got the kegs from, wouldn't rent us. If we got buckets from them, they would have had to have gone back on Tuesday. Which obviously wouldn't work because my wedding's after Tuesday. And I didn't want to go back to Wisconsin before Tuesday, before my wedding. Yeah, so obviously it wouldn't work. So we ended up going to Target and getting a bucket and a bunch of ice.
Oh God, really?
And put it in just one of those like storage buckets with a bunch of ice around them, and got it home. And then when we got here, we dumped out the water. I drilled a hole in the bottom of the bucket, and right now it's sitting in my basement with the 2 quarter kegs in it and ice in it, and the hole is sitting above one of the floor drains in my basement, so that the water could drain out as the ice melts. So I spent today trying to figure out how I was going to make this work, because it cost me $15 last night to replenish the ice that had melted on the car ride. And so luckily I got a friend of a friend of a friend has offered me to use her freezer, or to give me a free chest freezer.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'm gonna go pick that up tomorrow and make it a keg cooler.
I'm excited. I'm gonna drink it.
Yeah. I got a quarter keg of Moon Man and a quarter keg of Totally Naked.
How you do this? That's amazing.
So, yeah, I was telling Brian, it's Josh and Brian, you can't get Blanton's anywhere right now. Kathy was saying she thinks that they're going to have another batch release like in September sometime, but like you can't get Booker's anywhere either. But I saw like a shitload of Booker's at Costco, and it's just different. It's like Booker's is like in your face, like time to get like wasted. And Bland's is more like a smooth and complex, more like a Scotch. But I don't know if you guys want, Booker's is still, good.
Did you guys end up getting some Blantons?
No.
There's no Blantons to be had anywhere.
No.
Even
I'm
up in
perfectly
Chicago.
fine with. I like Four Roses anyway quite a bit, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, there's you can get Four Roses at the Costco in Florence too.
Is Costco limited to grocery store proofs?
No. You can go and get cask strength Bookers. You can get the Four Roses. It's all like real good prices.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Are you gonna ride down there, Brian?
Whenever I can get down there, I guess.
Yeah.
Not a high
The,
priority right now. So
yeah, if you can get down there, the thing that sucks is they're doing construction northbound.
yeah.
So like I got stuck in 10 or 15 minutes worth of additional construction traffic, which
Yeah.
kind of sucked.
I just spent a bunch of money on gear, so I can't really justify buying more anything. And I bought some quarter cask while I was in Chicago, so yeah. So I'm probably not gonna be. And I still have Larceny sitting around, and we have that Heaven Hill Green Label for cocktails and stuff. So
Oh, and
I just can't really.
Brian, I checked my debit card today, and the new Glarus didn't come off of my credit card, but so my bill was only like $60 there. So they might have went ahead and charged your account for that. So I might need to pay you back for that.
Okay. Or maybe you just fucked it up in general. I don't know.
Maybe
Let
she
me.
didn't charge us at all. No, I doubt that.
I highly doubt that too.
Joe, how much damage do you want your fireball to do?
Like a lot.
1,000,000 damage.
Well, the maximum that a fireball can do is an empowered maximized fireball, which would be 90 damage. That's just a flat 90 damage in a 20-foot spread, a 20-foot radius. A standard 10th level fire, you can cast a fireball at 5th level, and it'll do, I think it's 5d6. It's it's 5d6.
I'm gonna step away from the computer for 1 minute. I'll be right back.
The maximum amount of damage that a fireball spell can do according to the spell level is 10d6. So you'll be a 10th level. It'll be a 10th level caster at 10d6, and that's 22,500 gold for 10d6 worth of damage. If you maximize it, it's a +3, and if you empower it, it's a +3, which means it's a 19th level spell, or 9th level spell, which is would be a 9 times 17 times 750, which is 114,000, minus 30% if you wanted to personalize it, which is 80,000. You don't have 80,000 gold, I don't think.
No, I can't get a fireball that powerful.
Well, let's see. Let's do 6. Well, let me look at this here. Wizards start casting at 11th level. 6 spells at 11th, so it'd be 6 times 11 times 750 is 49. Actually, 49,500. What a coinkydink! That it's exactly how much money that you have. So a maximized fireball would be 60 damage, and you'd be able to cast fireball 50 times from a wand.
It's a lot of money, but I don't know. It's like one of those things about fireballs. Like, get out of the way.
Yeah, it is. That's why I chose lightning bolt.
Fry everybody.
Now you could do this. Now it's 5, or let's see, it's spell level is 3 times 5. It's a 5th level caster times 2,000, and that's 30,000. And you could do 5d6 fireball damage forever, and not 50 times.
Isn't it
forever?
Isn't that the 2,000 mark? Isn't that affected by duration? And can't you not do that for instantaneous stuff?
Let me see.
Because like if you want to do something that's in rounds per level or something, it multiplies it by like 4 or 5. I thought.
No, if it's measured in rounds, then multiply it by 4. If it's measured in minutes, then multiply it by 2. If it's measured in 10 minutes, multiply it by 1.5. And if it has 24-hour duration or greater, then you divide it in half. Instantaneous stuff is not affected by that. If you want it to be a command word, then it can be cheaper than that. But I highly recommend not doing a command word, because if your command word is pineapple, and the enemy is like, oh, pineapple, then they're going to activate your device on your turn, and you'll have nowhere to put it, and it probably is going to explode right in your face. So. Or you could do a wand. The cheapest wand that you could do would be 3 times 5 times 750 is, oops.
Well, and I lean more towards wands because, like, how many times have you used your unlimited use items? More than 50?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Wand, third level wand is 11,250 gold.
So what about like a wand of magic missile?
Magic missile is a very, very fantastic idea. I actually have a whole spreadsheet dedicated to magic missile. Let me get it out.
And then what about a wand of scorching ray after that?
Oh yes. Now
It's
see,
Ben.
you're getting into like the good stuff.
Ben,
right?
you might want to look at the mythic magic missile, by the way.
Well, I can't. I'm a magic item creator now. I can't cast spells mythically.
Josh, I just checked my account and I see charges for discount liquors, but I don't see one for $380. So I don't know.
My recommendation for a damaging spell is Scorching Ray or Burning Arc. They're a 1 time per day use. You could double it and get it 2 times per day. A single use is 16,380 for both of them, but both of them are maximized and empowered. Now, the cool thing about Scorching Ray is you have 3 rays and they each do 36 damage, right? But it's a touch spell, so you roll you would roll an attack roll versus touch, and then if there is a DC for a save, then it's 20. Burning Arc, on the other hand, maximized and empowered, does 90 damage to the first person, 45 damage to the second person, 22 damage to the last person, and you can do that 1 time a day, or double the 16,380 for 2 times a day, and the DC is also 20 on that.
Is it a stave or what is it?
It would be, whatever slot that you have open. If you want it to be slotless, the item price would be double.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't have any. I have a ring slot open. I want to kind of keep that open if I can. You can't make a stave. They can do it.
Well, here's the problem with staves. Okay. If you cast it, like usually staves have several spells that you can put into them at the same time. I don't know the item creation. I don't know how to make a stave. Vader knows how to make a stave, but I don't know how to make a stave. But when you cast a spell out of a staff, you have to cast it back in order so that you can cast it out again.
Oh.
Right. So it's like, okay, well, I cast all these spells, Veda. Can you cast them back into the staff so that I can cast them again? It's like, well, that's a pretty huge burden. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you would just refill it on times when we're just traveling, basically.
Right.
What about a wand of scorching ray?
A wand. Well, that depends. Scorching Ray is a 1st level spell.
I don't know.
I'm asking. Let me see. Let's find out. It might be second. Yeah, 2nd level spell. So a 2nd level wand, as is, costs 4,500 gold. So
Is
that's a
that-
5th level. So that's a 5th level caster. 4,500 gold is a 5th level caster. I know, 3rd level caster. So that's 1 ray. If you want more rays, every 4 levels beyond 3rd. So to a maximum of 3 rays at 11th level. So if we use our formula, it's 2 times 11 times 750 is 16,500 for 3 rays. And it's a ranged touch attack that deals 46 points of fire damage per each ray.
46.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What was that arc? That fire arc thing that you were talking about?
Oh, burning arc.
Was that 4d6, like 4 6-sided dice, or 46 points?
4 damaging 6-sided dice.
Okay.
And burning arc is the 2nd level spell as well. So it's basically the same, except if there's multiple targets within the area, you can take half of that damage to the next person, and then half of that damage to the next person. Therefore, at 9th level, your burning arc deals 9d6 of fire damage to the primary target, 4d6 to the secondary target, and 2d6 to an additional target.
No, I think Scorching Ray is better.
It does, yeah, it's versus touch, which is fantastic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to buy one of those, I think, or have Theta make me one.
And so the question is, what do you want? A standard Scorching Ray?
Or what, maximized? What, it's all D6s?
So the maximum effect without adding metamagic feats to it is it would be 2 times 11 times 750 is 16,500, and that will give you 3 rays of 4d6 damage versus touch.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and take a look at, well, before you agree.
Oh, you want to look at the magic missiles?
No, I want to look at Scorching Ray just to make sure there's if there's like a reflex saving throw or something like that. You're going to want to know that, right?
Yeah.
No, it's just a ranged touch attack, and that's it. Now, Magic Missile, on the other hand, is very interesting. It doesn't do as much damage, but as we already know, they're unerring, so they automatically hit.
So, Ben, just so you know, the mythic version of Magic Missile doubles the number of missiles you have.
Yeah, I'm not saying mythic.
It doubles the number of missiles, increases the range to line of sight, and bypasses spell resistance and spell immunity.
That's great.
You do have to use two uses of mythic power to cast it, but I thought about it. Like, a line of sight, like, you could literally, if you're standing on a hill, affect up to 10 creatures a mile away.
Well, doesn't it just change it to 2d4 plus 1 instead of 1d4 plus 1?
It'd be 2d4 plus 1 per missile, and then by default, and then it expending the use of the making it augmented using with the mythic ability gives it the double the normal missiles, adds the line of sight, and bypasses the spell resistance and immunity.
Okay.
It's pretty
don't know.
badass to have an unerring thing that basically, if you can see the target, you hit.
Exactly. So, if you want to do Magic Missile, Joe, it's a first level spell, so it's 750 gold to do one missile. If you want to do 5 missiles, which is the maximum amount, it's 6,750 gold, and that's 1d4 plus 1. If you want to maximize that, it's 27,000 gold, but you have five missiles that do 6 or five missiles that do 5 apiece, so that's 25 damage every time that you do it, but they automatically hit. You don't have to do anything about it, so 25 damage. I don't know, it's up to you. If you want to do it empowered, it would be 25 times 1.5.
So there are things that can negate magic missiles. Like I think shield does, or
right.
something like that.
The spell shield, wall of force, any kind of force effect that you have around there will automatically
Negate them.
It's force on force. It'll negate that.
Just so you know.
So if you did it maximized and empowered, it's 37.5 damage total. So you do all 5 missiles at the same person, but you don't have to roll. It automatically just does it, unless they have some kind of shield or something like that that's going on.
So that's per missile?
No, that's total. That's it for 5 missiles. Each missile does a maximum of 5 damage.
Yeah, that's weak.
It's pretty weak, yeah. My personal favorite, not everybody's personal favorite, is for 21,600 gold, you can make something that casts Disintegrate, which is 40 d6 damage.
Brian, I'm gonna link this here. Again, it'd take Mythic, which we would have to do. But it also bypasses shield and similar effects that block the non-mythic version of the spell.
Oh, is this mythic magic missile? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Cool.
How many d6 is the Disintegrate?
40.
40.
Yeah, but if they pass their fort save, though, it's only 5. Just so you know.
What's the save versus fort?
It's a DC 19. So let me go ahead and just make sure that I put that in there right. Disintegrate, and we're looking for the Pathfinder version of that.
And you will see monsters like passing that fort save, not all the time, but
yeah. If they fail the fort save, then it's then they only take 5d6 points of damage, but it is partial, so they are taking damage, which I like, but yeah, the fort save. So let's take a look at this. It's a 6th level spell. The maximum is 46. Any creature struck by ray takes 2d6 points of damage per caster level to a maximum of 40d6, which is the 20th level spell. So we'll do 6 times 20 times. If you wanted to do a wand, it would be 750. Which is 90,000. If you wanted to do something a little more permanent, it's 6 times 20 times 2,000. Oh shoot! 6 times 20 times 2,000, and divide that by 2. It's 120. If you wanted to personalize it, it's 84 4,000, which I don't think you have that much. I don't think mine does. I think mine does like 20, or I think mine does the minimum, which is 6 times 11 times 1,000 divided by 2 minus 30%.
Brian, I think that I might have talked myself into, instead of taking the power attack mythic feat,
Yeah.
taking the mythic spell casting so that I can do mythic magic missile.
Yeah, so for 22 d6, which is what I typically do, which is it's right around like 70 to 85 is typically where I do that, is 46,200. And that's a Ray versus touch, and that is a DC 19, which they pass more often than not, which yields 5d6 damage. But it's almost always damage. I don't know if I've run into any enemies that did not take damage from it, whether it was the 5d6 or the 22d6, and that is personalized.
Yeah, no, I still like Scorching Ray the best.
Right. Yeah, I think Scorching Ray is pretty sweet. How many times a day do you want to cast it, or do you want to make it into a wand?
I just make it into a wand. I just want, versatility with my range. Although that's one thing about Scorching Ray is that it's kind of close range, which is fine because I still have my Wands of Lightning Bolt that I can use if I need more range. I'm usually somewhat close to them.
Okay. And did you with the regular wand of Scorching Ray, do you want the maximum amount of rays possible, or the minimum amount of rays possible, or you want to add meta magic feats to them?
I don't know what kind of meta magic feats I can add.
Well, you can add any meta magic feats. It just adds to the difficulty of how difficult it is to make. Like maximize, obviously maximizes the amount of damage. Empower multiplies the damage that you have times 1.5. You could you can't use something like Quicken because you're activating a device, so it's always a standard action. But you could do something like Daze. Daze will leave them dazed, which means they don't take any actions for a round, which can be very handy. Like especially with Magic Missile, if you have Magic Missile with 5 missiles and the dazing effect, if they fail their save, then they're all dazed. Then you have 5 enemies that are completely dazed and they can't do anything for a round. Which is very handy. But there's all different kinds. It depends. Do you want to do damage? Do you want to do a status effect? What are you trying to go for?
Just damage.
So damage, you would want to do like a maximized or an empowered, or maximized and empowered.
So it maximized makes them all D6, all the D6s 6s.
Right.
How much extra is that?
That would be a +3 caster level. So it's a second level spell. So +3 would be 5. The minimum caster level necessary to do a 5th level spell, I believe, is 9. It is 9. So let me get back to my calculator here. So it is 5 times 9 times 750 is 33,750. And that would be a 5th level spell. Let's look at Scorching Ray real quick. And Scorching Ray, for every 4 levels beyond 3rd. So that would be, you'd still only get 1 ray. So, oh, no. Okay, no, you would get 2 rays. So you would get 2 rays at
46.
At 4. No, well, no, you would get 2 rays at 32 damage each. Right? No. 24 damage each. I'm sorry. So 48 damage total. 24 damage each. If you did it differently, though, if you did it maximized at 5, but you upped the caster level to 11th, you would get 3 rays, and that would be 41,250, and you would get 3 rays at 24 damage each.
24 damage is the max I can do.
That is, no. You can empower it as well. So 24 times 1.5 is 36. So it would be 8 times 11 times 750 is 66,000, and you can't personalize a wand, so it's 66,000.
Yeah, that's way too expensive.
Yeah,
these wands are starting to get too expensive.
Yeah, so 41,250 would be the maximum amount of damage that you would be able to get out of Scorching Ray. And that would be 324
damage
rays. Yeah, and that's a versus touch. And there's no reflex save or anything like that. You just have to succeed in 3 ranged touches. And if I go to my character sheet and I look at attacks, ranged is base attack bonus. It would be my ranged base attack bonus, or it'd be my ranged attack bonus, which would be a +7. So you would roll a d20 +7 because I'm the creator of the wand. Versus touch.
And Brian, I am wrong. I was wrong. I'm not changing that. The reason is because to augment the magic missile, it requires a 4th tier mythic character.
Oh, already? Yeah.
So I wouldn't be able to augment it to do that,
wow.
to make it worthwhile. I can.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
later
hold off on it.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully get someone else in the future.
I am probably gonna have, or Go would probably have Veda increase the +2 on the Amulet of Mighty Fist to a +3, though. By the way.
I think I might buy another boat. Well, it's between. I'm bouncing between practical and fun. I could get the Shield Brothers bracers, which give me and Neville +2 to our AC, and let either one of us teleport to each other in an emergency once per day. Or I could buy another boat and house more people. And I'm leaning towards the boat.
Is your Amulet of Mighty Fists personalized?
Yes.
It's 7,000 gold.
Yeah. I'm just actually gonna go ahead and do that. Because that way, with my other item, whenever I rage, it'll be a +5 bonus, which is the max.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy a boat.
Maybe I might buy a robe of the Archmagi.
And that'll be all from me.
I'm already an archmage. Maybe I should just be an Archmagi. Good AC bonus, spell resistance, saving throw bonus.
And Go would probably. Probably gonna want an item that gives me dark vision finally.
Mm-hmm. Goggles of deep sight, I think, is what comes to mind. Let me look it up. Dark sight goggles grants the wearer dark vision 120 feet, as well as a +4 competence bonus on perception checks and survival checks made to track while underground. It is 10,000 gold. But I believe that is the best of the best.
I'm gonna name the second one the SS Soul Food.
Soul food?
Can you
Soul
link
of
that
Food.
item? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I gotcha.
And that will be that. So now we can probably house at least somewhere upwards of 1,000.
You know what I'm thinking, Joe, is really how many times, during an encounter or a series of encounters, do you need to make ranged attacks? Like, usually when you make a ranged attack, it's I'm making a ranged attack and then moving forward so that the next time I get up there, I can do my sneak attack, right? So
yeah.
So like 1 or 2 times a day. So instead of I think instead of trying to go for a wand, maybe you should go for like a 1 or 2 time a day, kind of magic item. And then that way it's like, I'm not there. This is the time that I'm not there. I use my long range magic item. I start moving up, and then I get up there, and then I can, do my, my regular, high damage attacks.
Yeah, that might work. I would just hopefully want to add it to an item I already have, because I don't really have space for anything new.
Mm-hmm. What do you have open?
A ring slot.
Okay.
Man, you guys are just loaded.
I actually, Ben, I might have you make this instead.
I guess I have an eye slot open really because I have goggles of minute seeing or minute seeing, whatever it is. I don't really need them.
Oh crap, we have a third boat.
You gonna blow your load on some goggles?
Did we keep the other boat?
That was
It's up to you.
This would be definitely crazy expensive, but they give you blind sense.
60 feet, which is nasty. Yeah. I don't think I've ever looked at these before. I think that's really, really nasty.
Because they've always been too expensive.
Yeah.
How many people can the mud ship hold?
Brian?
Sorry?
I was not paying attention.
Oh, how many people can the mud ship hold?
The mud ship? Oh, that's a good question.
Because we didn't get rid of that, did we?
Well, we were talking about getting rid of it. Apparently it's evil.
It's not evil. It's just made by evil
we have the impression that if
Our lives will get interesting if we hold on to it.
if we keep riding it, we're gonna turn evil. Yeah.
Wait, turn evil? I thought evil people would just come to try and reclaim it.
That too.
Which, I mean, that doesn't bother me.
That sounds like new friends to me. You know.
That sounds like a chance to have all my ballistas and 1,200 person army actually fight something.
So, Ben, could you make those eyes of the dragon? Could you make those hand slot instead of eye slot?
And what?
If I was gonna have them, could you make them a hand slot instead of eye slot?
I think the way it works is, yeah. If you have that much money, unless you want to personalize it.
I'm going to personalize it.
Well, I think for existing items, you have to have that lets you change them.
The what?
There's a specific feat that allows you to change the form of wondrous items. So I wouldn't think that, I mean, if you're crafting an item, then it can be whatever slot you want it to be if it's just something new, but I don't know. That's just what I'm saying. It would seem odd for that feat to exist and just be able to do that.
I think that's the mythic feat.
It's the mythic craft wondrous item.
Yeah.
It let for 20% of the base item you can spend.
Yeah, I think it'd be 38,500. If that's what you want, I mean, it's a lot cheaper to do it the other way.
To do what the other way?
Get dark vision the other way.
Oh, yeah.
Who doesn't have dark vision?
I still don't have dark vision. But I cast a lot of light.
I guess if Goebel can get his own dark vision goggles, I can just cast regular ass dark vision on you, and I don't even have to worry about like the dark vision communal. It's like just regular second level dark vision, and then that's that. So.
Oh,
I forgot I'm using
Donovan, this feat lets you physically change the form of a magic item you have at 20% of the cost.
So if you have an amulet, then you can spend 20% of the cost and make it into whatever you want after it's made.
Hey, do you have the ability to cast Continual Flame?
I think I can cast Continual Flame. Yeah.
Can you cast that on my Halo?
How long does it last?
Continual Flame is infinite.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll do that for you.
Now, I glow all the time, and I don't need fucking dark.
There you go. No more stealth for us.
It's a cleric 3rd level.
There you go.
So
Now,
we're gonna say that the mud ship is the equivalent of a sailing ship. It has a crew of 20 and can carry yeah, it has a crew of 20. That's all it says. And carry 150 tons worth of cargo.
The other ones that can carry 150 tons can typically carry, I believe, 250 people. Cargo up to 150 tons or 250 soldiers.
Well, that's still too much, though. This thing is 36 feet long, and even the sailing ship is like twice that size. And the long ship, yeah, and the long ship is
30
twice
feet
that
long,
size.
you said? Because there's the keel boat, which is 20 feet by 50 feet.
Right. Well, yeah, it's 50 by 75, 50 to 75 foot long ship is what it is. Yeah. So we're gonna say it's more like a keel boat,
which can house 100.
Yeah. So we're gonna go
without the cargo. Yeah.
but it has an extra dimensional space, so I think that makes sense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Between my boat of 400, the other boat of 400, that boat with 100, and the extra dimensional space, they should still be able to fit everybody.
And only one of the boats, everybody's turning evil. So I think that's a win.
They're not turning evil. They're protected by me. We just won't be on that boat.
Neville's on that boat. He's gonna bomb us, and we're gonna all die because Neville's bombs are legit.
No, I just go down there and cast protection from evil like
But
all the time.
Ben, that would save you a spell. Make it so if you just had to do Jack Dark Vision if it was needed, it would save you from having to use up as high a spell slot, right?
Well, yeah, it would save me a 3rd level spell slot. Because Dark Vision's a 2nd level spell, and I would just cast that on him instead of
So what?
instead of Dark Vision Communal.
So what Go wants is he wants fingerless gloves of the dragon.
Okay, 38,000. What did we decide it was? 38,500.
38.5, yeah.
Gloves that give you dark vision.
For gloves that give me dark vision and blind sense.
And let you see 4 times as well in dim light and twice as well in normal light. Those are meaningless numbers. Like, twice as well. Okay, what's the numeric
That's
benefit?
just the description of the blind sense and.
Well,
dark
I can
vision.
tell you, when I was in Boy Scouts, we did, as the Hurley brothers will know, this famous backpacking trip to New Mexico. And on the top of Iron Horse Mountain, our guide said, "Look at that mountain over there." Right? And he said, "That mountain is in Nevada." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And he said, "Now turn around and look at that mountain. That mountain is in Texas." And it's like, people can see for a hell of a long way. It's like, if something's big enough, right?
It depends on the air quality, I think. And there is lists of how far, vision, how far you can see.
Yeah.
But yeah, even being in Denver, right, you can see those mountains from our house, and those, are really far away. So, yeah.
I mean, you can see the moon.
And then you got the curvature of the Earth to think about too.
So Brian, that item that I linked, I have fingerless gloves that basically that have that effect.
The eyes of the dragon.
Yeah.
He's got blind sense now, which is like taking 4 mythic tears. It doesn't matter. You already know where everything is anyways. You got long arm. You can reach there. You can feel there. You can see there now.
Oh, there was those gloves that give you 20-foot reach. Did you ever look at them again?
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to need that now that I've got the extra move with the free attack.
And if you need to move, I can move you too.
Those gloves didn't allow you to do attacks of opportunity anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But yeah, he wanted fingerless gloves so his claws don't try to tear through them or anything.
Mm-hmm. Let's make it out of something fancy, like fingerless chainmail gloves with, small adamantine plates that are they don't do anything. They just look sweet.
Adamantine adds the cost. What is it? Like 1,000 for the item.
Oh well, let's not do that. Let's do.
That's fine. I would be with that.
I just wanted to make it look cool. Anyway, Veda doesn't know what she wants to spend her money on. I'm gonna have to look it up tonight after I'm done playing Dead Cells till I fall asleep. So. I don't have to look at these random magic items too. Andy, you don't have a shield, do you?
No, I have a vest of Force Shield.
Oh, you do? Oh, sweet. I was gonna recommend Force Shield. So that blocks magic missile. So.
Hey, Brian. Another question for you.
What's up?
So that's the rules on making an item adamantine. I want my gloves to be made out of adamantine, not for any actual purpose. They won't have any effect. I just want to know how much it would cost based upon the prices on there. Because I just want really cool gloves. One of them's going to be a Michael Jackson glove.
Okay, let me see if I can find some more info.
I I mean, you could just spray paint it.
I don't know that it's necessary to look it up. It's not going to have any actual effect. It won't affect my attacks or anything. It would just be made out of the material to be cool looking.
Is adamantine a trade good?
Not really, I don't think.
Uh,
Oh shit! Adamantine armor just straight up gives you damage reduction null.
so
Yeah.
it's 340 gold for 1 pound as a trade good.
Well, it says here that items without metal parts cannot be made from adamantine. So you're saying that you want
It would be
Like-
fingerless gauntlets, kind of.
like gauntlets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't. He's not going to be able to attack with them or anything. He just wants them
It's
to
just
be made out of
flavor.
it
It's just for flavor
Yeah.
purposes.
for flavor. Yeah. How much do fingerless gloves cost made out of adamantine? Is it like 1 pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 5 pounds, 4 pounds?
I'm trying to look it up.
Dude,
I doubt anybody's got any information out there because
Yeah.
nobody's wasting money to make their gloves adamantine for no reason.
We're gonna go with 500 gold.
Sweet.
to just flick it.
So I mean, it's 100 because it's got to be Mastercraft, and then
Well,
another
they would be
100.
Mastercraft anyway because they're magic.
Yeah. Well, either way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Adamantine fingerless.
Yep.
I'll call them gauntlets because they're made out of metal. Of the dragon.
Sweet.
You can
That
make
looks nice.
things out of angel skin, which
Yep.
reduces the ability for people to see your evil.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
Does anybody want mesothelioma? Because we can make it out of asbestos too. That's what it says. Asbestos cloth. Gives you fire resistance. You know, that's an interesting dynamic. Maybe we should make all of our clothes out of asbestos cloth, and then like the DM doesn't charge us anything for making it out of asbestos cloth, and it doesn't give us any benefit. But later, when we hit level 20, we all have mesothelioma, and it's just like, yeah, it just sucks. It's like it all sucks. Life sucks. We live forever with mesothelioma, and we can't get rid of it because of our asbestos clothing.
That doesn't sound fun.
All of my slots are now taken. That was my last available slot.
Nice.
Plenty of slots.
Nice. I love it. I'll just talk about slots.
Actually, I just filled 3. No, I have a lot of slotless items.
I'm aroused.
I also don't wear half my items because they don't do anything. I should put on that gender belt now.
Yeah, sweet.
I definitely think that's worth it for the blind sense.
Yeah, I'm looking at the blind helm, which is a mythic item,
Yeah.
and it gives you blind sense 60 feet, and it's 42,000. So
Yeah, I've still got body, eyes, hands.
it makes
ring
you
one,
blind.
hand two, and belt.
And it makes you blind, so you only get blind sense.
All right, so I'm down to $5,000. I can't buy anything else. But hey, once again, I can house all my followers.
nice.
And at this point, I've got an extra 3d6 for healing. I got the ball grip, so that was what I really wanted. Oh, I can spend. I'm going to spend the last 5,000 on a statue.
You know,
No, I actually need it as a component for a spell.
let me see. Let me for 4,000 gold, you could make a statue of cure light wounds. That's like command word activated, and you could like your healers could go up and touch the statue of you and be cured, as in cure light wounds.
Can I actually do that?
That would be awesome. That'd be pretty meta.
They could pray every day to your statue.
What would it be to do restoration?
A lot.
But no, isn't there like a cure minor wounds, but just heals like 1 hit point?
Maybe. My brain here. I gotta. Let's see here.
How do I make? What's it cost to make it out of gold? Can I just melt 4,000 gold down and make a statue out of it?
It would be 28,000 to do restoration. Actually, it would be a lot more than that because it's 100 gold or 1,000 gold. I think Cure Light Wounds is the lowest level one. Yeah.
For pricing art, pick a DC of how precise a rendition you want it to be. Square it, multiply it by an arbitrary number, and you have a price tag.
So it would be caster level 1 times spell level 1 times 2,000 equals 2,000 gold, but it's a slotless item, so it would be 4,000 gold for a slotless item. And I couldn't imagine it would cost more than $1,000 to carve a likeness of you, of a statue.
There's no prices for statues.
Yeah, I think that's,
but only by weight.
I think that's GM's discretion there. It's either an idol or a statue.
For 4,000 gold, can I buy a large statue?
What are you talking about again? I'm sorry.
For 4,000 gold, can I buy a statue of me that cure light wounds and put it on the boat? For 5,000 gold.
How much does it cost to? So I mean,
actually make a cure light wound item.
It's spell level 1 times caster level 1 times 2,000, which is 2,000 gold, times 2 because it's a slotless item. So that's 4,000 gold for the spell effect. Now we just need to know how much. Is it under 1,000 gold to make a statue?
Well, I mean, I think you can spend as much as you want on the statue, right? I mean, you can spend 1 gold and get a piece of crap statue. I don't know if that would be what you want to do, but I think 1,000 gold will get you a pretty reasonable statue, right?
I think it would be a very fair likeness.
It just has to look like me. For the other spell, it just has to look like me.
Let's see here. Price of a statue. It's fine art.
I mean, I have a statue in my backyard of the goddess Sri, and she's holding a little water pitcher and water pours out of it and everything like that. And I spent $288 on that. You know, that's not gold, obviously.
It needs to be large.
Okay, what do you want it made out of? I mean, what kind of material are you talking about?
I prefer gold, which is 3 times the price, but stone will work.
Okay.
I mean, you could make a small golden idol, right?
No, it's got to be big.
Okay. Then wood. Wood would be your ideal scenario.
Wood catches fire. The boat doesn't.
Can someone cast the spell stone shape?
Spell
can't you
what?
The
Cast the spell what?
there's a spell called Stone Shape.
Oh yeah, I can stone shape.
So then, I mean, it would cost you nothing if you wanted out of stone.
You know what? While I'm casting the spell Cure Light Wounds in there, I'm using Jack Boone as a model and also casting Stone Shape onto the material and making it in his likeness. And as a master craftsman that can craft anything from anywhere and all of wherever we are, I form a very nice likeness of Jack Boone and a large stone statue that, on command word, casts Cure Light Wounds.
Awesome.
5,000 gold.
And the command word is obviously All Praise Boone.
Yeah, and I'm going to take your 1,000 gold.
Okay. I now have no money. I only have 41 gold. Now I can actually contact with the ship is no longer an issue.
Wait,
Sweet.
the Bengals won again?
Yeah.
You do that sometime.
This is their best preseason record they've had in like a long time.
I thought they had a really good. I thought they almost made the Super Bowl a few years back.
He's saying preseason, not season.
Yeah.
I don't know how football works.
Yeah.
These are the before season games. Like they're kind of like practice games.
Yeah.
They usually
I'm
do
gonna go
really
upstairs and
horribly.
spend time with my wife. I'm gonna look in this mythic stuff, and I'll have everything knocked out in 2 weeks for sure. Good night, gentlemen.
It'll be 3 weeks before you play, right?
Oh yeah, it's time. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna run. I'll see you guys later. Okay.
Right.
Yep, I'm gonna log off too. Good night.
Donovan, I'm gonna be a little late tomorrow. I have to run up to and I guess that's gonna be the end for tonight.